Hi there, welcome to another Edinburgh Retro PC review. Today we're not looking at something very retro, in fact we're looking at something that's pretty much cutting edge technology. It's a Acer Revo 70, which you can see here. It's a very compact PC. Now you can probably get the scale of it there. It's sitting on top of a stool. It's roughly the size of a standard router, so for somebody who's not got a lot of space but still likes to have a sort of desktop PC, you know, with a large monitor rather than a laptop, it's absolutely perfect. You can see here it's got the standard microphone in and out. It's got an SD card at the front here. It's got 6 USB 2 inputs. It's got an HDMI adapter at the back, and also the standard VGA, and it's also got the standard Firewire. Now the reason for this review isn't to actually review the hardware, it's basically the reason I bought it, which I'm going to set up just now and let you guys see it. So I'll be back in 2 seconds. And welcome back, guys. This is the device booting up. It's, as I said, it's like a standard PC, and it's actually running a very compact version of XP. I'd love to claim that it was myself that built this, but it wasn't. It was actually a friend of a friend who I bought this off. He spent many months configuring this, putting a huge amount of software on it, emulators, which you'll see in a second. It's an amazing little device. So, being a Windows machine, we've just got to wait on it booting up. It actually runs a front end Maximus Arcade. Now this was a front end which was primarily devised for use in arcade cabs like MAME cabs, emulator cabs. It did cost money, but sadly due to piracy I believe the guy no longer works in it, which is a shame because it's a very powerful front end. And it's actually quite easy to use. I know there are other front ends out there like Hyperspin, but apparently you need to have quite a good knowledge of sort of code, etc. So Maximus Arcade is very simple. You basically point to the emulator exe, point to the games, and point to the images, and away you go. It's very simple. It's kind of pre-configured for quite a few different systems. So this is Maximus Arcade. And I'll just give you a very quick run through of the different systems. First there is the classic MAME. And as you actually see, you may or may not see, this is all getting controlled using one of these bad boys, a standard wireless Xbox 360 controller. So we shall go into MAME, and this is controlled using the controller. If space is a premium in your house, you don't have space for a lot of the original machines, then something like this is brilliant. Turn the sound up a little bit. I mean, being a PC, it plays, you know, it emulates things brilliantly. Anyway, I could play this all day. It's one of my favourite games, although I'm pants at it, as you can see. Again, you can dive in and out of emulators using the controller. You can obviously make favourites, and one thing I love about this particular front end is if you press on the right stick, you get some history all about the games, telling you when it was released, etc. Trivia. The game was originally going to be called Monkey Kong. It tells you all the different versions of it. Tips, who worked in it. Very good. So that's MAME. I mean, everything's there, even things like some of the more up-to-date games work really well. I'll go this way. Daphne is basically it's an emulator for Laserdiscs, and again it's the games, to be honest, there's not a lot of playability in them, but the fact that this can even emulate them is great. You can see there it is actually loading the emulator. But Maximus Arcade is very clever. It actually helps to kind of hide a lot of the sort of...
Dragon's Lair, a fantasy adventure where you become a valiant knight on a quest to rescue the...
Let's have a quick go at this. Dearie me, I didn't even know what happened there. To be perfectly honest, you haven't a clue what's going on, but anyway, that's Dragon's Lair. One of my favourites I put on, it's brilliant. I mean, just the technology that they used back then is superb. GP World, it actually came out in 1986, I think it was. It's a Sega game. It's a racing game, but they've used real video for the track and superimposed a little sprite. Absolutely classic. Oops, and I've just managed to come out of it, so I'll go back in again. You can see it's warming up.
Gentlemen, start your engine. Trial.
There appears to be a complete lack of sound for some strange reason. As you can see, it's actually just a video of a road, and you control a car and there's other sprites in the road. Mental. Anyway, that's that one. I've got lots more to show you, so I can't hang around and play them for too long. So that's Daphne. We've got MAME, which I've showed you. We've got the MSX series of computers. As you can see, it's a lovely front end to pick what game you want. That's the second version of the MSX that came out. Then we've got the PC Engine. Again, it plays plays very, very well. Obviously, being a PC, you can configure the emulators to exactly how you want them. And actually on this is full ROM sets, so every single version of every single game. I mean, there's 10-Yard Flight on the NES, Japan Rev 1, USA, Europe. Brilliant. You can scroll through using the thumbsticks, you can jump letter by letter. I'm not going to go into every system because we'll be here all day. SNES, that's very, very good. Let's jump to one of the more sort of testing games. Has always been Super Mario Kart. Again, you'll see how well it runs if I can actually find it. Or is it just called Mario Kart? Possibly. Just keep yourself amused, folks, while I look for it. Right, now it's been cheeky. Where is it? Mario It must be Super Mario Kart. There we go. I knew it was there. Let's go for the American one. But honestly, if you like your old classic video systems, but you don't have either the money or the space for them, which is always a problem, then something like this is brilliant. The great thing is it's completely portable, so all you need is somewhere to plug into the PC and an HDMI cable, and you're away. So that's the SNES one. The N64, again, it does, the emulation is very, very good. It's great just having all these systems and all these games there just to pick. It saves all the games as well, the way it's been set up. The Game Boy, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of games. I mean, far too many to actually play. Game Boy Advance, Sega Megadrive. Need to have a quick look at that one. Well, we'll go for the classic Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog, there we are. Oddly enough, for being a retro gamer like myself, I've never been a big fan of Sonic the Hedgehog. Probably because I tend to think of it as new technology. I mean, my first computer was a Commodore 64. Well, that's not actually true. My first computer was a Texas T1994A, which was absolutely garbage. Then I got a 64, Atari ST, Commodore Amiga PC. So you can see there the emulation is absolutely spot on. Every game you can shake a stick at. Then more interestingly, you've got things like the Sega 32X, which is lovely. Playing some of these games were very, very good. It was basically like the Megadrive, but it had slightly better graphics because it was obviously running a CD. I think it was maybe slightly more powerful, although that may not be true, I'm not too sure. But I mean, things like Star Wars Arcade, great game. Obviously, being a PC, you can go in, you can, this Acer Revo 70 comes with a keyboard, wireless mouse. You can go into you can boot into Windows, you can configure the emulators exactly. I mean, some of these emulators have got some filters set on them which I don't really like, so I need to go in and change it. But you can configure it exactly the way you want it, same with the controls, etc.
Attention all wing pilots. Stand by to receive orders. wipe out enemy fighters.
Anyway, I'm getting carried away here playing all these games. I just want to I'll give you a brief overview of each system. It's the 32X, then you had the Sega CD, which came out before it, I think. Most of the games were the sort of used the kind of full motion video. That's when CDs first came out, so they went a bit over the top with the full motion video with some awful acting. I've not really played this system much, to be honest with you. There was a classic Night Trap, which was like a horror film with some of the worst acting under the sun. I've not actually tried this game, so just bear with me. Let's give it a go. I haven't a clue what I'm doing. What am I supposed to do here? That's the only thing, you don't have any instructions with these games. You know, pressing buttons doesn't appear to do anything. Access code green. Oh, I appear to be controlling some CCTV. The point of this is anyway, that's Night Trap. But most of the games there seem to be similar type of games. I mean, I would hate to think how many systems are actually on this, or not systems, how many games are actually on this box that I've bought. You must be talking tens of thousands of games. Then you've got the classic Master System. Again, with every single game you could ever want to play. Emulation again is absolutely spot on. Game Gear, M2, that's quite interesting. It emulates the M2 board of the Sega. We'll give Daytona a crack. You can see there it booting up the emulator.
Please select a race course.
Let's go for the easier one. Come on, who can start?
Please choose manual or
Pretty go automatic, eh?
Gentlemen, start your engine.
And I'm instantly off the track. You can see there, it plays pretty damn well. It's certainly fast and smooth enough. Anyway, if I keep playing this video is going to take an absolute age to load into YouTube, so I better crack on. But there's all the games there, all that run on that hardware. Daytona, Dynamite Cop, a lot of these games came out in the Dreamcast. House of the Dead, Indianapolis, Manx TT, that's always a good game. Absolutely tons of games. Sega Rally Championship, I'll show you this one very quickly, it runs really well. Because it's emulating an arcade machine, it's got to go through the initialization stage. Might be an old racing game this, but it's still brilliant. Although again I'm absolutely pants at it. But it looks lovely. Obviously for the authentic experience, these games are always better on a CRT screen. I've got this connected to a 36 inch I think it is LCD, and it does look nice, it has to be said. Anyway, that's Sega Rally, guys. That's the M2 emulator. Coming back out, I've got this classic Spectrum. I'm not going to show you that because there's far too many games to go through, but well, I'll quickly load up Attic Attack. Again, the emulation's spot on. The only problem you do have with some of these computer emulators is obviously it required the keyboards, and you're trying to control it using one of these. So you know, there's a piece of software that you can actually use that converts button presses to sort of keyboard presses. So I've kind of configured, yep, pressing the Y button goes to number 2. Let's see if this actually works. Hooray! So there you go, from a M2 emulator to a Spectrum emulator. What more does anybody want? Absolutely love the sound effects of this game. It just takes me right back to 1984. Right, anyway, I'll be here all day. That's this Beaky. Neo Geo. Again, I'm not going to show you any of the games, but it plays them perfectly. So if you like your beat 'em ups or your shoot 'em ups, then you'll love the Neo Geo. Neo Geo Pocket. I'm not really familiar with this system at all. I've never really seen the point of playing handheld games on a big TV, but it's still nice to have them. Because of the small screen they were written for, when you put them on a bigger screen they do look a bit chunky. This one's great. The guy I bought it from, he did a great job. He actually put on about 290, I think it is, PlayStation games. Let's go for Destruction Derby. And Scott, the guy I bought it from, he's actually, I mean, he sold this because he's actually buying a new, more powerful PC. He wants to be able to emulate GameCube, Dreamcast, PS2 games, so he's going to need something with a bit more power. The Revo 70 isn't really up for emulating these systems. I mean, it emulates the PlayStation really well, it emulates all everything else that I've showed you, but for these more up-to-date systems it's not really up for the task. And we appear to have a crash. I've never seen that happen. We'll come out and try a different game. Let's go for Ridge Racer. Ridge Racer. Ridge Racer. Here we go, we'll go for Revolution. That was the second one, I think. I think the only difference was it let you play the original track backwards, something like that. I might be wrong. That noise, sound effects, takes me right back. 1995 I think. And if the laser didn't read discs, you had to turn the thing upside down. I remember the first time when I first got this, when I first got Ridge Racer for my PlayStation, and I saw this. I think the first one had Galaxians. I actually thought I would rather play the real Galaxians than play Ridge Racer, because back in 1995 emulation just wasn't something that existed. Damn it, only missed one. PlayStation, I must admit, out of all the systems that I've got, I mean I've got a lot of systems now, from 8-bit machines, 16-bit, I have to say the PlayStation in my mind has aged quite badly. I think because it was the first, that and the Saturn were the first systems to sort of have a crack at doing proper 3D texture mapping, whatever you want to call it. It was the very first machines to kind of give it a go. And now comparing it with Xbox 360, even like a PlayStation or original Xbox, it does look pretty bad. Some games like this don't look too bad, but you start playing things like Tomb Raider, you know, and they do look very blocky. But, you know, if it wasn't for the PlayStation, we probably wouldn't have the systems that we've got now. Well, I'm up to almost half an hour video. This is going to take some time to upload. That's the PlayStation, guys. Ultra 64 basically emulates. It's a unique emulator for purely Killer Instinct 1 and 2, the arcade versions. Atari 800, that was actually a system I did myself. Just one game I'll show you is the lovely Drop Zone. I mean, you can see here, it's just dipping in and out of systems. 1 minute I'm playing a Spectrum game, 1 minute I'm playing an arcade game, next minute I'm playing an Atari game. It's just fantastic. I mean, I do have a lot of the original hardware, which I always prefer playing rather than emulators. But hardware doesn't last forever, and having this one-stop shop solution is brilliant. The thing is, I've also managed to put a version of Xbox Media Player onto a memory stick, which is plugged into the back of that, and I can boot straight to that and stream video, etc. So obviously it's not just used for games, but that's what I bought it for. So it's a lovely machine, Atari 800. Love to own one of the original Atari 800s, but these go for silly money on eBay. Atari 2600. What can we say about that hasn't already been said? Lovely system. Basically kick-started this industry. Atari 7800, slightly lesser known machine. Some nice games, weren't very many. I've actually got an original Atari 7800. Jaguar. Again, I don't know what happened. It flopped big style. It was a powerful piece of hardware, but again, I don't know, they just didn't get the support it required. The one game that is absolutely standout is Jeff Minter's Tempest 2000. Lovely game. This is the first time I actually had a chance to play it. I've never actually owned a Jaguar, so being able to fire this up and playing it is actually a brilliant, brilliant game. Again, I could play this all day. Well, I could because I'm trapped, but you know what I mean. Right, I better move on. Almost at the half-hour mark. It's a Jaguar Atari ST. I'm not going to let you see that one, but again, it was a machine that I owned. I've got a lot of happy memories playing TNT and other games. That was a huge step up, going from a Commodore 64 to an Atari ST. Apart from the sound, I have to say the sound in the 64 was way better, but it was a great machine. Batch files, these are a series of sort of like PC games that Scott was able to put onto this. A lot of Mad Dog McCree. For some strange reason, when I try and run these on this TV, it comes up an error with the resolution. They were running fine on another TV, so it's obviously just a bit of tweaking required, but just a variety of other games. CPS3 is the Capcom hardware. There's only very, very few games that actually came out for it. Very quickly let you see it running.
Are you ready? Go!
Never been. I would always loved to be good at beat 'em ups, but they take a lot of time to actually play and to master. I'm just a button masher, so it's completely random what I'm doing here. I have a mate, Sick Boy, who's absolutely awesome at every single arcade game, but watching him playing Street Fighter 2 is amazing. And you actually see a game getting played with somebody who knows what they're doing. They're very deep games. You can see there it plays really well. That's a CPS3. Commodore 64. A second computer. Absolutely lovely. What I love about this, this is probably the geekiness in me, but what I particularly like about the way this is set up is, let's go to Daley Thompson's Decathlon. It actually emulates a tape, so you get to enjoy the whole experience of loading a tape. But very cleverly, we've got a fast forward button on the joystick, on the joypad I should say, which speeds up the loading. Found Decathlon. And if that doesn't bring back memories to anybody over the age of 35, then I don't know what will. Let's speed up a bit. I quite enjoyed this game actually. Comparing it with the real track and field, I suppose it was a bit rubbish, but you know what? It did what it had set out to do back in 1984. That's the Commodore 64, and that's the Commodore Amiga. That's the very last one I need to show you. This is it's quite a complicated one to set up. This it actually uses hard drive files, which means they load very, very quickly. it takes a bit of faffing about, but once you get it working, it's great. What was games I'm going to show you? Oh, no, that one, I don't want that one. That was the wrong game. Let's come back out and try the right game. Alien Breed. As it's running hard drive files, they load a lot quicker, as you can see. I love this game, but again I was rubbish at it, and it was as hard as nails. Brilliant atmosphere. Shamelessly ripped off Star Trek, I'm guessing. Anyway, I better tie up this this review because we're now over half an hour and it's going to take forever to upload, and you've probably all fallen asleep by now anyway. So that is it, guys. That is the Acer Revo 70. You can buy one for about 250 quid. I think it comes with Linux, but you know, you can put a version of XP on it, which this came with. And you can run all these lovely emulators. You can obviously add other emulators of your own choice as well, but these are the ones that I play primarily, and it you know, it does me. Great setup. Hope you've enjoyed the review, guys, and I shall catch you again very, very soon. Okay, bye bye.